I saw a woman with my exact face at the airport, so I confronted her, and now I understand why my mom never showed me my baby photos. The woman at gate B7 had my exact face, and for a solid 10 seconds, I thought I was losing my mind. She was sitting 3 rows ahead of me, scrolling through her phone like nothing was wrong, wearing a green cardigan that looked exactly like something I would buy. I'm 34 years old, and I've never had a sister. Only child, raised by a single mom in Nevada. My father left before I was born, and my mom never talked about him. Whenever I asked questions, she would get this look on her face like I had said something painful, so eventually, I stopped asking. But this woman at the airport looked so much like me, it was unsettling. Same dark curly hair, same nose, same way of tilting her head when she read something. I watched her for probably 5 minutes before I worked up the courage to walk over. She looked up when I approached, and her face went completely white. She stared at me like she was seeing a ghost. I asked her if this was weird for her too. She just nodded slowly, still not saying anything. We ended up missing our flights, both of us. We sat in an airport coffee shop for 3 hours comparing everything about our lives. Her name was Jolene. She was also 34, born in April, just like me. She grew up in Arizona with her dad, also a single parent. Her mother had left when she was a baby. The coincidences kept piling up. We had the same birthday, not just the same month, the exact same day, April 19th, 1991. We were both left-handed. We both had a small birthmark behind our right ear. Jolene started crying before I did. She pulled out her phone and showed me a photo of herself as a baby. There were 2 babies in the picture. She told me her dad had kept that photo hidden her entire childhood. She only found it after he passed away last year. He never explained it. She had been trying to figure out who the other baby was ever since. I didn't have any baby photos of myself. My mom always said they got lost when we moved when I was little. I never questioned it. That night, Jolene and I both did DNA tests through one of those ancestry websites. We paid extra for the fast results. 3 days later, we had our answer. We were identical twins. I called my mom immediately. She didn't answer. I called again. Nothing. I drove to her apartment the next morning without telling her I was coming. When I showed her the DNA results, she didn't even look surprised. She just sat down heavily on her couch and put her face in her hands. The story came out slowly over the next hour. My mom and Jolene's dad had been married briefly in their early 20s. When my mom got pregnant with twins, the marriage was already falling apart. He was controlling and paranoid, convinced my mom was going to leave him and take everything. So he made a decision without telling her. When we were born, he told the hospital staff that my mom had agreed to give 1 baby up for adoption. He forged paperwork. He took Jolene and disappeared before my mom even recovered from the delivery. She woke up with 1 baby instead of 2. My mom spent years trying to find her other daughter. She hired lawyers, contacted police, and did everything she could think of. But this was 1991. No internet, no social media, no easy way to track someone who didn't want to be found. Jolene's dad had changed his name and moved to Arizona. He erased himself completely. My mom eventually gave up. She told me she couldn't keep looking because it was destroying her. So she moved to Nevada, started over, and tried to pretend she only ever had 1 daughter. She said looking at me was hard sometimes because I reminded her of what she had lost. I was furious at first. How could she keep this from me for 34 years? But then I saw how broken she looked sitting on that couch, and I realized she had been carrying this weight my entire life. Jolene flew out to meet her the following month. I picked her up from the airport and drove her to my mom's apartment. When my mom opened the door and saw both of us standing there together, she collapsed against the doorframe and sobbed harder than I've ever seen anyone cry. She pulled Jolene into her arms first, holding her like she was afraid she might disappear again. Then she grabbed me too, and the 3 of us just stood there crying and holding on to each other. My mom kept saying she was sorry, stroking Jolene's hair like she was still a baby. Jolene told her she had nothing to apologize for. We stayed like that for what felt like forever.